Hey, I'm Emily, a person living with type 1 diabetes. I was initially interested in the ChatCGM system for the carb estimator. I saw that you could send a photo of your plate or your meal into the chat and get a detailed carb estimate. I was interested in the accuracy of this to see if it was something that could replace having to weigh out food or measure food or look detailed into nutrition labels when it's inconvenient, and I was excited to see what this could do. In my initial experiments, I had excellent results where I found that the carb estimation that it was giving me was either exactly what the nutrition label was saying, what I would have estimated for myself in the first place, or something that was maybe even more accurate than what I would have guessed. When I put in the estimations into my pump, I always had great blood sugar numbers afterwards, making me really trust the accuracy of the system. So it's something that I use regularly in my meals at home, especially meals when I'm out and about or when other people have prepared them and I don't really know what to guess for my carbs. It's helped ease the mental burden of my diabetes management for sure. In addition to living with diabetes, I also support other people who live with type 1 diabetes in a coaching format. And I have been so excited to promote this tool with my clients. I have found that one of the biggest challenges that people experience is they want to have great blood sugar numbers, but they don't want to have to sacrifice their freedom or flexibility by restricting food that they're eating or having to sit out and weigh their carbs or count things out so that they can get accurate numbers and have in-range numbers after meals. And this ChatCGM tool is something that can bridge that gap to give them flexibility to eat things, to go out to eat, and to try new things without having to sacrifice having a good idea of the carbs in the meal and therefore a dosing strategy for insulin. So I've been recommending it to my clients to use so that they can have the increase in flexibility by snapping a picture of their meals and sending it into the chat and getting a detailed carb count. It's also been really helpful for some of my clients who haven't been as experienced with carb counting and aren't as good at estimating as maybe someone who's been living with years of diabetes is. Being able to get those estimates is so helpful because, as we know, our insulin doses are based a lot on the number of carbs that we're eating. And if we're able to have a good idea of what those carbs are without having to do a lot of the work, it makes life a whole lot easier. It's just so helpful to have a point of reference that can give another idea of what it thinks the carb estimation is, as well as a very detailed description of why it thinks the carb estimation is what it is. I love that I'm able to give it more information. For example, one day it said that it looked like I had a side of mashed potatoes when really it was refried beans. So I told it, that's actually refried beans, not mashed potatoes, and it updated my whole estimate for me based on that. So it's very intuitive. I love that it tells me exactly what information it's using to get the estimates. And again, it's just so helpful for me and all my clients to be able to live a flexible life with food and things that we want to be doing without having to sacrifice our blood sugar numbers in the process. So thank you, ChatCGM. You're awesome.